In this video, we're going to be pulling the fender off. I'm going to be welding everything together. I'm going to get some round stock, some nice solid rod. I'm going to be putting it on the edges to get rid of the sharp edge, which you should always do because it makes the paint adhere to it better and it just looks more professional, more clean. Also, it adds structural integrity. And then also, if that doesn't take too long, I want to pull my oil tank off because it is removable. Put it in a sight glass and completely mold it, body fill it, and prime it, because why not? I need a little morale for this project, and I think that is the perfect choice. So, let's go. Alright, so I got more rod. This was kind of a pain in the ass to find. Because this rod right here was just out of my personal scrap supply that I have completely exhausted, so I had to go and buy it in bulk. So I got a couple of strands of 10 feet, 1/4 inch rod they were going to use to mold this entire frame. And honestly, I'm probably going to need more because there's a lot of frame here. So what we're going to do next is we are going to make this shape, and I think the best plan of attack for doing that is, since this is a perfectly flat surface except right here where this kind of goes out on the fender, which I'm going to keep, I'm going to bench make this and try to make two mirrored pieces that are identical, so it's fairly similar on both sides, but that's the plan of attack. I'm noticing kind of a design flaw, not in the entire motorcycle, but right here, see this little tiny donut where it's stacked? That's going to be a pain in the ass for everything. Sanding, bondoing, painting, sanding the paint, clear coating, everything's going to suck right there. So I might make this just a little bit bigger. I don't know. We're going to make it on the bench and we're going to see how it looks and send it from there. Okay, it's coming together. So hopefully how I have this laid out, you guys can see the vision a little bit better other than just me explaining it. It looks kind of rough right now because nothing's tacked, nothing's molded, nothing's anything, it's just rod. But here's the outcome. This is a little test panel I did about a month ago, just kind of trying to get my rod bending skills down to par so I could do this. And in fact, I think I'm enjoying this thicker rod a little bit better because I'm not going to be getting these hard edges. As you can see, it's like flat spot, bend, kind of just where I was rushing and not really giving a shit. Because this is a test panel, it's sitting on my wall and slowly getting destroyed just from being in the garage. But we can go over how I did this paint and stuff in a different video. This is all aerosols and stuff. I was trying to see if I can get away with using cheap paints on this because I didn't want to break out all the expensive paints and everything just for a test panel. Even though you should practice like you play and use the expensive stuff on a test panel because when in doubt, that's what you're going to use on your actual motorcycle. Enough about this. So I made this side. Now lucky me, I get to make the other side. That's why I had the tape and I pulled it off the side of this Fender and put it on the workbench, so now I can make an identical piece that goes on the other side. Now this little bit right here, there will also be another one of these right here, but I'm going to add him later because I'm going to continue him down from the strut all the way to the bottom of the Fender because I need to finish this trim up. But I guess I need to stop talking and let's get to it. Alright, so the effect is coming out pretty cool. I can't say I'm excited to do the other side, but when it comes to sculpting and painting and everything, it's totally going to be worth it. I'm probably going to put some more spot welds on here just for reassurance that this isn't going to pop off as soon as the bike starts vibrating. I don't think I'm going to completely weld it like I did on this trim. The only reason I completely welded the trim is because this might take a beating. Just from being thrown around or set down on tables, taken on and off and everything. I don't want that to happen. Also, it looks a little shit where this rod is supposed to go underneath this rod in various spots. Probably just gonna Dremel that out and use a little filler and sculpt it that way. It's a lot easier than metal. Not really a big issue. Another thing I need to do is kind of level this valley right here. Make it look like this is in fact one piece coming across right here. You don't see this nice little divot where it's obviously flattened to go in here. If I'm feeling ambitious this video, which I might be, I might actually break out the needle gun and hit all this once this is nice and finished. That will, one, see how good my tack welds are, because if a needle gun doesn't pop it off, I don't think a bike's vibration will. Two, it's going to texture everything right here, and it's going to make it look like it's a different piece of metal, hopefully.
went ahead and just did the other side. I figured you guys didn't need to see me do it twice. I went ahead and just extended this little wavy bit just a bit. I think that'd be cool to kind of transverse into just flat paint up here. A couple more things I need to do. I think I'm gonna completely weld this up so there has more of a surface for the Bondo to attach to. Got a little bit of excess rod down here because I got lazy last night. I'm going to put some rod across on the bottom right here just to continue that nice trim. We're also going to weld in just a little bit of junk right here so we can Dremel that and level this bend into this sheet metal so it looks more natural and flowing and everything. And then I'll break out the needle gun and make some noise. We got the trim all figured out and stuff. Got these tacks kind of ground down a little bit so we can completely hide them with body filler and whatnot. As you can see, my welds got really crazy right here because, kid you not, as soon as I finished my trim, my welder ran out of gas. I'm constantly running out of stuff for this project. And I just moved to a new town and I know where nothing is. So now, I just went on a mission to get more rod. Now I need to go on a mission to find more gas. And I'm in California, so hopefully there's no weird welding laws, who knows. So here is the needle gun, or a lot of people call them scaling guns as well. I believe that is the proper term for them. But I hope the neighbors' kids are woken up because if not, they're about to be. Oh yeah, that's loud as fuck. You do need an air compressor for this tool because it is pneumatic. But yeah, let's make some fucking noise. There we go, all roughed up. You can really see the texture difference in the sunlight, and it'll pop even more once we get all this body filled up and smoothed out and some nice glossy glass-like paint on top of it. Now, if you guys want to do this yourself, I think this is like a Harbor Freight needle gun, but the first thing you need to do is you need to take the needles out and round all the tips to a point. That's how you get the nice little grooves in there. Now, I do notice that this is really ugly right here. We are gonna use just a little bit of Bondo in some spots like right here and some various other spots, kind of like down there where you can see the crease where my shitty welds are. But then you can needle gun again. You just gotta turn the air pressure down on the compressor, and then you can actually needle gun that body filler. And it will look pretty much the same. Also, I'm going to have to paint this with a different type of paint. I usually use like a nice thick epoxy primer on my bikes, as most people should. It is, like I said, extremely thick, and it will actually cover up all these pits. Ask me how I know. So I'm gonna use just kind of like a black spray paint primer, I think, and just clear coat over the top of that and see how that holds up. If not, we can always fix it. But there we go, we got both sides done. I think I'm gonna call it a wrap on this video. This side looks significantly better. Second time around, definitely better. This is also ugly on this side too. My goal for this week is to go find some gas for my welder so I can keep doing this. Oh yeah, this is gonna be cool right here. There's gonna be a nice color contrast between the black and then whatever color I paint this bike, all molded up and stuff. However, it's the same shape. Be nice and cool. If you do find that the stuff that I'm showing you is in fact educational and it's helping you do your own projects or anything like that, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And if you don't, you're gonna get a suspicious package on your porch. Not really, please don't report me.